Hello everyone. Sorry. Okay, as always, let me know if you can hear me. Sorry, my chair is really squeaky. Hopefully that's not bothering you. Hold on. So yeah, let me know how the video is, if you can hear me talk or not, and I'll fix that if there's any issues. But I just want to chat for a little bit before I get into drawing a little bit maybe. So I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. I'll wait just a few minutes or just a little bit to see if anyone else is going to join before I start diving into what I was going to talk about. I'm still in my pajamas. I'm drinking coffee right now, so it's very casual today. If you want to go grab yourself some coffee or tea or something to have while you watch this live stream, feel free to go do that. If I'm looking over here, I'm just checking. I have the live stream open on my laptop so that I can read whatever comments you leave. So if I look over that way, I'm just checking to see if there are any messages, because it's so much easier to read them on my laptop than on my phone, since I'm live streaming from my phone. But anyways, happy Sunday. So yesterday, I originally had planned to do this live stream, and then I pushed it back to today, obviously. Hopefully this worked better for you guys. I had been traveling. I visited home. I think I mentioned that in my live stream last week, but I went home to visit my family. So I just got back a couple of days ago, and you guys know how it is. Like when you return from a trip, I always think that I'm gonna come back and be so productive and get right back into everything, but it's always so hard to get back into it and reorganize yourself. So I had forgotten that I planned to go hiking yesterday with Jaren and one of our friends. So that's why I had to push back the live stream. But the hiking trip was really fun. We went to Rainier National Park and did the Skyline Trail, I think it's called. It's like a 5-mile loop and it's so pretty. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted some photos, so you can see that. But yeah, we went hiking yesterday, so that's another reason why I'm still in my pajamas right now, even though it's 11 a.m. I just have been taking it easy since yesterday was a long day, but it was fun. I'm still a little bit tired. But yeah, so thank you guys for being okay with me moving the live stream to today. But I guess I'll just go ahead and get into it. So as I said, I am just going to talk for a little bit and then do some art. But I was trying to figure out kind of an ending lesson to talk about in this live stream, just to wrap up the whole month of finding your art style. And it was difficult because I don't feel like there really is a definitive ending to this. Like, finding your art style is just a continuous journey that you're going to be on as an artist. It's never going to end. You're always going to be figuring out new ways of doing art and finding new styles, and your style is always going to change and evolve as you learn new things and grow as a person and as an artist. So I just didn't think there was really anything that I could end this on, like an ending lesson. I don't know, I was just having difficulty with that. So I just kind of wanted to, I guess, give you a small piece of advice. I think the key to growing as an artist and to figuring out your art style and constantly evolving it is just to be okay with it always changing, and also to not shut yourself down from the very beginning, whether you're just starting out or maybe you've been doing this for a little while. But I know it's so easy to stop doing art, or just to not allow yourself to make something because you aren't happy where you are with what you're currently making. And I think that's the worst thing you can do. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep making art, even if it's, bad. That's all subjective. But you just gotta keep making art in order to figure out how to do it in a way that you do like it. And I know it's really not what people want to hear, because they want like a quick fix, they want something, they want to know exactly what they can do to find their art style. And I did try to do that in a way with the activities that I planned this month, because I know that is helpful to have tangible things to do, but also you just have to know that it just takes time, and you just gotta keep doing art. You just have to keep going, and you'll figure it out along the way. But I hope that you guys did enjoy the activities this month. When I was planning them out, and when I was figuring out what I wanted to, I guess, teach you guys this month, I really was thinking back to the things that I have done that I really saw help me grow as an artist, or that really helped me develop a style, I guess, or just, I don't know, just figure things out. And all of the things that I had you guys do are actually things that I did, and things that I continue to do to help myself, whether I'm trying to learn a new technique or just refine a style, or I don't know. So I hope that the activities were helpful for you, and don't feel like you have to do them in that order. If you haven't done them yet, you can go back. If you want and do them in order, you can go back and do like your favorite activity. You can pick and choose what you need at what time. So yeah, feel free to go back at any time and repeat those, because I do the same thing to help me when I am making art or figuring things out. So let's see, I have a list of things that I wanted to talk about. So I guess that's what I want to say to wrap up this month. Of course, this, like I said, it's an ongoing process. So if you ever have any questions, or if there's any way that I can help you, feel free to reach out to me. You can post on my community page or leave a comment or something, and we can continue to talk about this. Just because this is the end of the month doesn't mean that like we can't continue to discuss this topic. So that's what I want to say about that. So now, possibilities for next month. Hold on, let me read this comment. Oh, thanks, Cordy. I'm glad that the mood board helped you in copying something else. I feel like that's something, the activity we did when I had you copy another piece of art, I think that's so helpful. And I think people are so hesitant to do that because they're afraid of copying someone else's work, because of course, like, nobody wants to plagiarize. You guys want to be original. And especially with social media now, like, you have to be so careful how you're inspired by someone, because if you're too heavily inspired by someone and you don't credit them, obviously that's not okay. And like, there's just, that's a whole nother topic. But I think that copying another artwork just for practice, just for yourself, is totally okay and is super helpful, actually. And yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I'm glad that you guys were finding that helpful. But possibilities for next month. So I really enjoyed this month where I chose a topic to kind of curate the content around, and I was thinking of continuing that idea and maybe choosing another topic for July. Of course, I want to know what you guys like, or what you think you would enjoy, I guess. So let me know your feedback. I'm going to post later today, probably, just asking you guys your feedback and maybe having you vote on a topic for next month. So I have a few ideas for topics. I haven't chosen one yet. I know tomorrow is July 1st, but as I said, things have just been a little bit crazy since I've been traveling. But I'm gonna figure that out within the next week, and I think that it would be fun to choose another topic. I really enjoyed doing that this month. If you have any suggestions for topics, feel free to let me know. You can leave a comment here in this live stream or on Patreon or whatever you want to do. But as I said, I have 3 topic ideas so far, and I guess I'll just quickly talk about them right now. They're very general right now. I will figure out, the details once I decide on one, but I have them written down over here. So one idea I had was to do a topic on photography, and I don't, again, I would have to think more about exactly what I'm gonna do, the specifics, because photography is very general, but maybe like how to take better photos with your iPhone, since I know a lot of people don't have DSLRs or digital cameras, or we can talk about, or I could like show you ways that I set up photos for Instagram, like flat lays, or just composing a photo, things like that, or even like more lifestyle photos. I just feel like there's a lot that I could talk about with photography, since that's such a big part of what I do. I love photography, and obviously I post a lot of photos. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, let me know. So another idea I have is kind of similar, but we could talk about videography, and I could just spend the month teaching you how I make my videos for YouTube and giving you all my tips, from planning them to actually filming and then editing. I don't know if that's something that interests you, since I know not everyone makes videos or wants to make videos, but I feel like a lot of you do similar things to me, so maybe that would be fun for you. If you have a YouTube channel, this could help you maybe make better videos, or I don't know, I could just give you some of my tips and tricks. But that was the other topic idea, and then the last idea I had was doing something with digital art, since that's really a lot of what I do. I at the moment I've been doing mostly digital art, so I could do lessons on using the app Procreate with your iPad, like drawing on tablet, or talking about graphic design, because that's one of the things that I love doing. That's what I went to school for, and it's obviously a big part of my job, so we could talk about that. Graphic design could even be its own like monthly topic, because digital art is so broad, so I might narrow it down like that. I'm not sure yet. And then also going along with that, I could show you how to use the Adobe programs, if that's something that sounds helpful for you. Again, I know not everyone uses Adobe or wants to, but I know that a lot of people are intimidated by the programs, and maybe me showing you how I use them could help you. But again, all of those like different sections of digital art could be their own monthly topic, and all of these topic ideas that I just told you are very broad, so I would definitely narrow it down. I just don't know exactly what that would be yet. Anyway, so those 3 topics again were just photography, videography, and digital art. So if you have any preference, let me know. If you have any other ideas for topics, let me know. Or if there's something specific within those broad categories that you think I could spend a month teaching on, then also let me know. So that is what I'm thinking about for next month. I'm going to get that sorted out, as I said, in the next week, and start posting the new content for July. And then one more thing, I just wanted to ask you guys what you thought about the live streams this month, since I did live streams instead of my usual videos that I was posting. Again, I'm going to post later today to ask for your feedback, so if you just want to write a comment on that post, you don't have to tell me right now, but feel free to leave a comment here on this live stream. Anyways, I just want to know, did you like the live streams? Do you want me to continue doing them? should I replace the videos with live streams or do both or not do live streams at all? I just want to know what you think. I really enjoyed doing the live streams this month. I was kind of nervous at the beginning of the month because I don't really do live streams that often, and I didn't know if I was gonna like it, and I didn't know if you guys were going to. But I've actually really enjoyed the live streams, and I think they'll get better if I continue doing them. I think that they'll get better. Just, I don't know, from doing them more often. But I think that I have a problem showing people art before it's done. I don't like showing people what I'm doing, like when it's in progress. So that's why I was kind of scared of doing the live streams, because obviously I would be doing art live for you and you would see everything. You would see like how many mistakes I make, and I don't know if it's just because I'm a perfectionist or what. Everyone says they're a perfectionist, so I don't know. But the live streams have been really helpful for me because it has just made me more comfortable with sharing the process and not being afraid to show you the behind the scenes and show you what a piece of art looks like before it's finished. And I think that it could be helpful for you to see that. And I know that I like seeing other artists' progress photos. I like seeing what it starts out as and then what it turns into. So I really want to start sharing more of that. So the live streams are helpful for that, but also I'm just going to try to share more, I guess, just behind the scenes, like showing you my art before it's done. But I think that's all that I wanted to chat about. Let me read this comment. That's a good idea. So Gordy says that it would be interesting to learn about building a community or connecting with an artist on Instagram. Or can recommend another platform where you get more feedback. It's really hard on Instagram. What do you mean? Like, are you looking for another platform? Are you asking for my recommendation? Because honestly, all I use is Instagram and YouTube. So I don't really know of any other, I guess, social media platforms that would be better for sharing your art. I guess I do Patreon as well, but I used to use DeviantArt back in the day, back when I was in high school. I haven't used that in years and years. So I don't even know if people are still active on there, but when I was in high school, it was pretty active. Like, a lot of people were on DeviantArt posting, and it was a cool community because people just posted their art and talked about it, and other people commented on it, and it was just a cool platform. But again, I don't know if people even use it today. Oh, thank you. Northern Downpour 74 says that she would love to learn more about videography. I think that would be really fun too, to do a month on that. So I think I will post maybe a poll later and ask you guys what you want to see next. But I kind of want to figure out more specifics first. I don't know. Yeah, I think DeviantArt is dead too. So that's not probably something you want to use. I know it's hard on Instagram when you're first starting out because there's so many people, but I really feel like Instagram is one of the best places because there are so many people and it's so easy to find a community. There's so many like little pockets on Instagram of like within the art community. There's the illustrators, there's like digital artists, there's filmmakers, there's like so many little pockets of artists on Instagram. So you just have to just work on growing your community, I guess, and finding other people. I know how hard it is because I started out back in like 2017. I started a new Instagram account and had 0 followers and grew from there. I think I have something that I posted on Patreon. Maybe it's a podcast talking about how to grow on Instagram if you want to check that out, where I give you all my tips for how I grew and found a community on Instagram. Art is protected on Instagram. Is it? I guess it is. I guess anything you post technically is copyrighted. But I also heard somewhere that like if you post photos on Instagram, Instagram is allowed to use them if they want to. I don't know, people were talking about that a few years ago. I don't know if that's actually true. I haven't looked through their terms of service to find that out. But I think they will help you at least. Like if you post something on Instagram, if you're worried about somebody else stealing it, if somebody did, I think like you could contact Instagram and they would help you with that situation. Oh, you can't download the art. Yeah, so that's a benefit of Instagram, is that people can't download it after you post it. Like I used to use Flickr, which is a website for sharing photos, and I love Flickr. It's great. I don't really use it much anymore, but it's so easy for people to download the photos and use them if they want to. Yeah, so that is a benefit of Instagram, that people can't download it. Okay, well, I think that I'm going to get into the art portion since I've already been talking for 20 minutes. You guys can keep leaving comments if you want to. I am going to move my tripod, so it's gonna get a little bumpy for a minute. Also, I just realized how messy my background is. Sorry, I kind of have things everywhere. But, okay, I'm going to move you guys. Okay. Sorry that I have to do all of this, but I wanted to actually talk to you guys, like face to face, and not just have you see my hands. But I always have a hard time setting this up and getting it so that you can see clearly and not see the tripod. So give me just a minute. Does that work? Oops. Okay. I know it's not the best setup. I just need to learn how to use this tripod. Also, it was $15, so I can't expect much from it. All right. Let me know how this is, if you guys need me to adjust it or if you can't see. Is this too bright? I think it's okay. Oh, that's so cool that you mailed out some of the postcards to your friend. I'm glad that she enjoyed them. Okay, so I have no plans for what I'm gonna draw today. I am going to follow the prompt that I gave you guys in the activity that I posted for this week. So if you haven't read that, go check out that post. But basically the prompt was, actually let me pull it up. So for the prompt, I wrote, imagine you're going on a hike through a wildflower field, stopping along the way to take pictures and draw sketches of the flowers. What would you carry with you in your bag? Draw your bag and all the contents. Also, you can draw the landscape of the hike if you, depending on like what kind of subject matter you like to draw. So feel free to alter this prompt as you want. You don't have to follow it strictly if you don't want to. It's just kind of a place for you to jump off from, because I know sometimes it's helpful for me to do that. Sorry if you can hear my computer fan. I'm not sure why that's going off right now. But anyways, I'm going to follow that prompt. I think what I'm going to do is sketch the backpack maybe in the center here, and then some of the contents around it, and maybe make it like a full print. I'm not sure. We'll see how this goes. Again, I usually don't show this part of the art process, so you guys are gonna see what actually happens. I think I'm gonna use the 6B pencil, and I like using a bright color to sketch with. So I'll stick with that red. And I'm just gonna do a rough sketch right now to try to figure out where I want to place everything. So I'm not gonna worry about really rendering anything correctly quite yet. So for this week's activity, what I wanted you to do was just work on refining one of the styles that you did from last week. If you remember, last week we did a new drawing every single day in a new style. So whichever style you liked the best, I kind of wanted you to take that and work on doing a full art piece with it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Obviously, I'm drawing a Fjallraven Kanken. I don't quite know how to say that. But it's just classic, and it's so cute and fun to draw. Okay, so what is going to be in... I'm not using a reference right now. I might a little bit later if I need to, like, help me fill in the details, but right now I'm just kind of sketching. But you can use a reference if you want to. I do often use references. Especially for my style of art, which tends to be a little bit more true to life. I like to just get the details accurate. Here I'm drawing a film camera. I've drawn, these are things that I've kind of drawn a lot before, so I don't really need a reference just for the sketch. So that's why I'm not using one now. But if it's something that I haven't had much practice drawing, then I like to use a reference. I guess I should do these on separate layers so that I can move them around if I need to. I'm going to move this to its own layer. What else? I guess a sketchbook. Oh, and I had asked for questions on the post that I put up yesterday about the live stream. I think I just got one question. Let me find that. Yeah, so Lauren asked, she says, I'm curious what you do with all your art projects that don't quite turn out how you wanted or expected. I try out so many different projects / mediums when trying to find my art style, and sometimes they don't always turn out how I want, but it feels weird to throw them away. So I totally get that. I have the same feeling, and I don't know if I have really advice for you, because what I usually end up doing is if I make something, like whether it's a craft project, like a DIY project, or an actual like art piece, if I don't like it, if it didn't turn out well, first of all, if I just hate it and it's just like not usable at all, I'll just throw it away. But if it's fine, you know, but it's just not exactly what I want, sometimes I'll end up keeping things. Like I have a box of projects that I've done, especially like the art projects I do on my YouTube channel. I have a box of them because I hate to throw them out, but I don't really have a use for them all the time. And what I end up doing is keeping them for a few months or maybe even a year, and then every now and then I go through all of my art supplies and just all of my things in general, and I like to just go through and minimize and get rid of stuff, and then when some time has passed, I usually feel a little bit better about throwing things away. So I know that's not like great advice, but that's what I tend to do. I also have like stacks of old artwork at my parents' house because I don't want to throw it out, but I don't know what to do with it. So sorry that I don't have anything super helpful to tell you about that subject. I'm trying to figure out what else I want to draw. What else would be in my bag? Maybe like a pencil pouch? Oh, water bottle's a good idea. And yes, Cliff bars or some sort of snack. Do I want to do like maybe some pencils coming out? We'll figure that out later. It kind of looks weird, but that's okay. A water bottle, that's a good idea. So I'm not really worrying about drawing things true to size. I'm trying to just kind of, I guess, be less strict with my art. So like things might not be perfectly in sized relative to each other, you know, like maybe that pencil pouch is a little big compared to the backpack, or I don't know, the camera might be not the right size compared to everything else, but that's okay. I don't even know how to draw a water bottle. What kind do I want? Because my water bottle is a little bit wider than this. that looks weird. I don't know if you can tell that this is a water bottle. It kind of looks like a baby, like, sippy cup. I'll keep that, but let me try maybe just, you know, a regular water bottle look. Yeah, I'll just do that instead of this other one. Granola bar, that's a good idea. I don't quite know how I should depict this so it looks like a granola bar. I could write on it. Did I do this on an layer? Yeah. And then I'll do some sort of design or something on there. Also, that's a little small. We'll figure that out later. What else would I bring with me? I guess we would have rolls of film if this is a film camera. If I can remember how to draw a roll of film. I don't think this looks like film. It's okay. I could always write film on it. Maybe a set of watercolors if I decide I want to do some watercolor paintings. Oh, I didn't do that on a separate layer. Do I want to do a palette of watercolors, or I could do watercolor tubes? Just because if I just do a palette, I don't know if it will be obvious what it is. Kind of looks like a chocolate bar. Let's try doing a paint tube. could do a couple of those. And then I guess I would need some paint brushes. I think things will look more like what they are once I add color. Like these paintbrushes, it's kind of hard to tell what they are, but hopefully when I fill this in, it will look good. Maybe I'll do like some flowers to fill in more space. But I want to start arranging these things. So I know I want the backpack in the center. When I'm drawing in Procreate, I tend to use a lot of layers so that I can do things like this, like rearrange everything, especially when I'm doing the sketch. That's one of the reasons why I love Procreate. Okay, I've got to think of some more things to draw because I still have lots of room. Like I said, maybe some flowers, because maybe I gathered a few along the hike. Where do I want to put them? I guess I'll just draw them first. Okay. I feel like I need a few more little things. Maybe, I don't know, like a roll of tape. I don't know if that's something I would actually have with me, but it might look good for this drawing. that look like tape? Kind of. I feel like that looks worse. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this. Oh, you guys have so many good ideas. Yes, hold on, let me finish this tape if I can. Uh, there's something off about this perspective, but I can't, it doesn't matter right now. This is just the rough sketch. Something to listen to music, sunglasses, phone, headphones. Those are all great ideas. Maybe let's do sunglasses. If I can remember how to draw sunglasses. That's fine for now. I might make them a bit bigger. And then maybe like a phone or iPod or something, maybe with some headphones. Does anyone even use iPods even more anymore now that we all have like, iPhones? I used to, so I had an iPod Shuffle. I think that was my first MP3 player. You know, they're really tiny. It was like this big. I got that when I was in middle school. And after that, I saved up my money and bought an iPod Touch. And that's what I used throughout high school. And I don't even think people buy those anymore. I have no idea. I think I'm gonna draw like a classic iPhone just because that's recognizable, I think. Although the new iPhones, like they're getting more and more simplified. You know, it's just a screen, it doesn't even have the button anymore, so I don't know how I would draw that and make it look like an iPhone. And then some headphones. Oh, you still use an iPod Nano? That's awesome. I never even thought about that, but the fact that like if you have one of those old MP3 players, there's no internet, so it is a great way to still be able to listen to music but not have everything else, and you can unplug. Maybe actually like an iPod Nano or the old iPod Shuffles would actually be perfect for hiking because they're so small and lightweight. I never even thought about that. Although I typically don't listen to music while I'm hiking, just because I usually hike with other people. But if I'm ever alone, then I do like listening to music. Okay. I feel like the backpack needs to be a little bit bigger, since it is kind of like the central subject. I don't know where to arrange these. Could put the notebook down here and bring the flowers up. But then there's space here and here. So I'm not in love with this composition, but I'm not really sure what it's missing. Let's see. I'm gonna do a water bottle. A little bit. more flowers. Maybe it does need more flowers. I feel like that's always the perfect thing to fill in space. Yeah, let's add more flowers. Maybe right here. What kind of flowers should I do? Could do more of those to keep it consistent. And I could always fill in space with like little star doodles, like I always do. And I think everything just needs to be moved over. So many layers. Okay, this is looking decent. Now I'm going to combine all of these layers, since this is just my sketch, and start coloring it in, which I think I'll use the dry ink brush. So if you watched my last live stream, I drew these flowers, and I think I might try to do this drawing kind of in this style that I did, which I used, I'm pretty sure I used the dry ink brush for this. So that's what I'll do. And I just realized it's already 12 o'clock, which means I've been live streaming for an hour. I might end the live stream here. I know that I haven't done much on this, but you guys at least got to see my sketch. You see the beginnings of this, and I'll have to finish this and of course post it for you to see. But I don't usually share the sketches or like what it looks like in the very beginning. So it'll be maybe fun for you guys to see what this ends up looking like, since you saw the whole process of me sketching it out. But thank you guys so much for being here and just hanging out with me while I draw. I love chatting with you guys and drawing. So as I said, I'm going to be posting later today, I think, on Patreon, maybe tomorrow, asking for your feedback on this month, and I think I'm going to post a poll for you guys to vote on the topic for next month. And yeah, you guys just check my Patreon. I'll post everything. I can't think of all the things that I need to tell you right now. But if you did the activity for this week, as always, feel free to post it on my community page if you want to share it. I'd love to see how yours turns out. once I finish this, I of course will post it. I know I told you guys a couple live streams ago when I did this drawing that I was going to post it when I finished it. Obviously, you see I haven't done any more work on it. I just haven't found the time, but I really want to get this done. So this will all come eventually, just like this one. I'll post it whenever it's done. I can't promise when that will be, but thank you guys for joining me. Thanks Christine and Gordy, everyone who was here. Have a good night, Gordy. I'm glad that I did this time because I think this works for a lot more people, like doing it in the morning, the live streams. But yeah, so I'm gonna end the live stream here. Have a great Sunday, everyone, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, guys.